And the voices that will be involved in that process, very important. I'm going to play a couple of pieces of sound from yesterday. Let's start with Mark Murphy on the question of what the quarterback's role will be in the process of selecting the new head coach. Here's the CEO of the Packers.
You guys were just talking about Aaron a minute ago. Does he have? Do you want to include him in any of this stuff, as far as whether he's sitting in on the interviews, part of the process? How does he weigh in on this at all?
No, he won't. Obviously, he's free to provide input and talk to us, but he's not going to be part of the process.
All right, that's Murphy who's going to make the decision. Here is Aaron Rodgers at his locker on Monday with reporters addressing the same question. How involved does he want to be, and will he be in the process of hiring a new coach?
Mark and Brian and I have always had good lines of communication. Their offices, like they say, are always open. I've had conversations with them like I've had with Ted over the years, and I'm not, needing to be involved in that process.
Before that, he said he has an interest in who the next guy will be, which, from both guys, Murphy and Rodgers, you're getting mixed signals. Input, yes. Part of the process, no. I feel like they've got this awkward balancing act, Peter, where they feel like they can't have him involved or they can't create the impression he's involved. How can he not be involved? He's under contract for 5 more years. He's a franchise quarterback. He is the main guy that has to have the right relationship with the head coach. How in the world do you not involve him, even if it is having him meet with the candidates in the presence of Brian Gutekunst and Mark Murphy so they can assess the chemistry or lack thereof between Rodgers and the person they're bringing through, with the possibility of that person becoming the head coach? I can't figure out why the Packers seem to be so hesitant to state the obvious here. Of course he's involved. He's one of the best quarterbacks to ever play football, and we need him to be on board with who his next coach is.
Mike, when I hear those words, the one thing I think is, well, wait a second. If I'm John DeFilippo of the Vikings, or if I'm Josh McDaniels, or pick a guy, whoever the next coach would be, I want to talk to him. Forget about whether he wants to talk to me. I want to talk to him because I want to know one thing, one vital thing about Aaron Rodgers. And that is, okay, I've watched a lot of tape of the Packers. I've watched a lot of tape of you guys, and I want to know one thing. Do you want to be coached? Do you want to be coached hard? If you ask Tom Brady, for instance, in New England, okay, if you ask him how hard he's coached by Josh McDaniels, he'll tell you significantly. And he'll say, I want to be coached that way. If you ask Drew Brees about Sean Payton and Pete Carmichael and Joe Lombardi, I want to be coached. I'm coached hard. And so I want to know from Aaron Rodgers right from the jump, okay, we're going to change X, Y, and Z around here. We might do some RPOs. You're good on your feet. We're going to do some different things here. And I want to know, are you on board? Are you going to do what I believe is best for this team? So forget about whether Aaron Rodgers wants to talk to these guys. If I'm these guys, I want to talk to him. And I don't think I'm taking this job unless I can talk to him, because I want to know those things, because they're very, very important, I think, to the future of this offense and to the future of the Green Bay Packers.
And that's a great point, Peter. And he addressed that yesterday. There was a question posed to Rodgers about whether at this stage in his career he essentially has an inclination to be his own offensive coordinator like Peyton Manning was perceived to be. Here's what Rodgers said. I enjoy being coached. I think any player does. You love the conversations, the feedback, and I think any great player holds himself to really high standards. So first you have to be very critical of your own performance, but it's always nice having a voice in there that's going to hold you accountable. I think any player, especially an older player, you want that. You want that feedback, somebody holding you accountable, someone coaching you up. And it's one thing for him to say that at his locker, but I agree with you. A good coach, somebody who can read people, is going to be able to have that conversation with Aaron Rodgers and get the sense in his heart, is this someone who is going to take coaching, or is he just saying all the things he thinks he needs to say? And is he going to be a relentless pain in my ass when I try to coach him? And you're right on the money. Forget about Aaron Rodgers' involvement. The coach who is under consideration and being considered for that job, he needs to want to talk to Aaron Rodgers because he needs to know what he's getting himself into.
Mike, 2-3 weeks ago, I spent Saturday night with the New Orleans Saints as they prepared to play the Eagles. And one of the things that was very noticeable when I saw the interaction of Drew Brees with his teammates and the interaction of Drew Brees with his coaches, he was a sponge. He was a sieve. A sieve's the wrong word, sorry. He was a sponge. But Drew Brees was a sponge because he wanted to know, A, what do you guys think? And B, I like this play. What are your thoughts? And by my count, Mike, there were 46 plays in that game plan that Drew Brees requested the night before the game. Hey, look, these are the ones I like, and I can't tell you how many they actually ran in a game. But every single one, Sean Payton gave him a little bit of feedback and said, hey, this is really good because of this. So, I mean, there was that kind of relationship. That's the kind of relationship, in my opinion, that a CEO quarterback wants with his head coach. Because the quarterback is going to go out on the field and he's going to either have to change the play or he's going to have to run the play that was called. And the most important thing is for that quarterback to believe in it. I had a stat in my column on Monday, Mike, in which I said that Aaron Rodgers is on his way to having the most throwaways ever since Pro Football Focus has recorded the statistic in 2006. And by what I mean by throwaways is, he's had 47 before Sunday's game. He had 47. Throwaways basically are, if you don't think the play has a chance, you throw it into the first row of the bleachers, you throw it into the ground, whatever. And it's almost like if you watch Aaron Rodgers on some of these, and I'm reading far too much into the ink blots, into the Rorschach test here. But if you watch some of these, it's like, I hate this play. And again, I'm guessing at that. But that is the impression I've had of some of these Aaron Rodgers throwaways. Those can't happen. If you look and see Aaron Rodgers' completion percentage way down this year, he's got 47 wasted balls. And so to me, Mike, I just look at this. He's thrown it away 3.5 times the league average. That has to change.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.